We're hearing a lot about PGs. Can you explain exactly what PG is and how it all works?
PG effectively stands for prostaglandin. Prostaglandin is a natural hormone that's already in the animal, used in the estrus cycle. So by injecting prostaglandin into the animal, it resets the estrus cycle, which means the animal comes into estrus 24 odd hours after the injection. So farmers are using it a lot to bring cows into estrus earlier than normally would be expected.
So basically you're lining everything up.
All of the animals in the herd are not susceptible to prostaglandin throughout the entire 21-day estrus cycle. So by injecting all of the herd, we're only getting 2/3 of those animals that will respond to prostaglandin. So yes, we're bringing 2/3 of the herd earlier into estrus than what we would normally be expecting.
And it's a synthetic, but it's actually a total copy of what nature provides.
It's a synthetic analogue, yes. So exactly the same hormone as what we have in the animal.
We've got a wee graph here. Can you explain exactly what all that means? Because to me it's straight over the top of the head.
Prostaglandin is the second injection that we're looking at there. So that effectively resets the estrus cycle and bring the animal into estrus, so into heat, and then we have fixed time AI after that.
Because obviously you want all your cows to calve in a very short time.
You do, but you don't want all of your cows to calve in one day. So if you treated all of the whole herd, 100% of the herd, with the entire treatment and synchronise them all on one day, then you have your AI technician with a very sore arm after inseminating the whole herd, and then calving would subsequently occur effectively plus or minus a week of that one day. So farmers don't like that amount of work in one day. So
no,
yeah, it's a good idea, but not perfect.
Not that great an idea.
Yes, plus it would have follow-on demands in terms of grass growth and feed requirements. So it's not quite that easy to do.
No, exactly. So you're fiddling, but you're not taking over. We hear about the conditions of the cows being important.
Condition is fundamental. There's no amount of intravenous or extraneous treatments that we can put into an animal that's going to improve production or fertility if the animals are not in good condition. So fundamental to making any treatment work, we need to have the animals in good condition and preferably on a rising plan of nutrition. So that means the animals are getting more food as they're going through the AI program.
So if you've got, I hesitate to use the word skinny, but you've got lower scored cows, do you not use this, or what happens there?
No, it is preferable to avoid that situation in the first place by feeding appropriately, but yes, there's obviously farmers that get into a situation where they can't avoid low body condition score cows. So yes, it will work in those sort of cows, but it is definitely preferable to have cows in decent body condition so that you're achieving normal, good fertility with those cows. But better body condition score, better response to the extraneous drugs.
Of course, the other thing is you want them to be in good order so that they're going to carry more milk and not get milk fever and all those sorts of things.
Exactly. The better body condition score, the better response to fertilisation, AI, and more milk production you're going to get out of the animals. Absolutely.
Can costs versus return?
Fundamentally, we get a really excellent return. We've yet to conduct a trial at Parnell where we don't get a positive response to these treatments in terms of getting non-visible estrus cows into estrus and subsequently pregnant. So yes, rate of return is very good. Much better used pre-mating than post or during mating. So trying to identify those non-visibly estrus cows before we start the AI program is the best way to implement this program.
So what's the graph that we're looking at now?
Well, we're seeing here that after fixed time AI, we're getting an increment in response after we've treated before mating. So we're looking at 63% in calf when we use the program pre-mating and only 53% during mating. So we're getting a 10% increment by using the program before we start our AI program.
So that brings me on to empties. Is this another tool to stop having empties?
Yes. NVO, non-visible estrus cows, are typically what we call empty cows at the end of the day because farmers don't subject those animals to AI, so they're not seeing them in estrus at all. So this program will bring a large proportion of those non-visibly estrus cows into estrus so that we can mate them with AI typically or with natural mating and get them pregnant so that they can lactate for the subsequent year. This removes the negative cost of those empty cows against the bottom line, so those animals will be able to produce milk next year rather than just be culled for being empty.
Yeah, well that's right, because they're not very valuable in New Zealand at the moment, but they're going to be again.
Yes, sure, the beef price is high, but there's no point in spending 2 years raising a heifer to cull it after 1 or 2 years simply because she's empty. And if you can use a less than $100 hormonal intervention program, such as we're talking about here, to get her pregnant and get a subsequent lactation out of her, in my opinion, that's a fantastic investment.
The average empties is 8 to 10% in New Zealand, so this is going to be, it's not a no-brainer. I mean, we should be using it. Here's your commercial, Ken.
Absolutely, it is a no-brainer in my opinion, and it is, the rate of return is absolutely fantastic. And if you're going to reduce animal health spend in your veterinary bill, this is not a product that should be reduced from that spend. Fantastic rate of return and very easy to keep your favourite cows and your high genetic merit cows.
How's the take-up on it as far as farmers are concerned? Is it popular?
Lots of guys are using it, particularly in conjunction with progesterone devices such as Cedars, DIV-V, etc. So yes, it is widely used. There are competitor products available, but our product has been around since day one in terms of the OVSync program, is very well known, particularly in New Zealand and Australia.
And you guys are nationwide, I mean you're worldwide I should say.
We are worldwide. We're manufactured in Sydney in an FDA approved facility and that won't be changing. We've recently moved into the US market whereby we're supplying reproduction hormones to the US market and moving across the globe as we expand. So yes, a global approach.
Good on you. Well, tell us about this graph and your global approach to that.
This graph is showing us that we can get a response to, in terms of milk production. So we're not getting a response in milk production this year, but it is in terms of next lactation where we're getting more cows in calf using the OVSync program. So these cows will produce milk next year, increasing our days in milk for those cows.
So your future proofing, that's the word I was looking for, future proofing.
Yes, we're trying to future proof next lactation. Our program won't affect this lactation. We'll increase the number of cows getting in calf for the next lactation and getting those cows in calf earlier. So effectively we're increasing the number of cows that are being potentially available to be milked and also the number of days in milk those cows will be producing milk. So total production has increased for next year.
You need to use it every year, obviously.
Preferably every year, yes. It would be great if the cows were getting in calf all by themselves, but because we're putting on so much production pressure on these animals, they have reproductive issues in terms of they can't always get in calf first time. So this product can be used to get them into estrus and then fixed time AI. Further, we can apply this product to heifers.
Oh, thank you. I was just going to ask you about young animals.
Exactly. This wasn't prepared, but yes, we can do rising 2-year-old heifers. So by getting those heifers in calf to AI, the genetic merit rate of gain that we can get out of our high genetic merit heifers is increased, rather than putting those heifers to a Jersey bull or a Hereford bull, which is nice and easy. Yes, we can use this product in heifers very successfully, and it's an excellent way to keep your rate of genetic gain high.